Today we're talking about every Amber card from Ursula Returns. It's the 4th set of Disney Lorcana, and we're going to talk about all 34 of these cards to know what they do. Remember the cards and see what spicy ideas we come up now as we're in set 6 right now, and then we can think about all the other cards that we talked about before, and we can talk about these cards right now, starting off with our 1/2/2 vanilla card, Augustine. We like them. It's the 1/2/2, but in Amber. We already have a couple of those archetypes, but we're glad to have another one. The Alma Madrigal, 3 cost, 1/3, the family matriarch. And right here, it's got this madrigal keyword. Augustine also has that madrigal keyword, which is important. The mentor keyword hopefully pops off eventually, but the Alma Madrigal, great card right here, especially in your puppies deck. If you haven't seen the puppies deck with 52 puppies and 4 Alma Madrigal and 4 Brunos, check it out. It's a great deck for sure. It's actually right here. This Bruno meme deck is one of our most popular videos that we've ever put out. The tier 1 memes right here. It's got 52 puppies, 3 Alma Madrigal, and 4 Bruno Madrigal. You can check it out more like that. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's spicy. Love to see it. On to the Ariel. This one's a Singer 7, and this was the Sing Together set, so this was important in this meta, but it never really went anywhere after that. Like, you don't see this card in Steel Song decks. You don't see this in like red Singer decks. It just doesn't hit because the 4 is a little bit too expensive. You get the Singer 7, but it's a little bit too expensive. We'll see that also in the Cindy card. Like, this is a Singer 9. That means it can sing any song in the game except for Mob Song, but it doesn't pop off. The Singer 9, it doesn't do the things that you want it to do. Whenever this character sings a song, your other princess characters get +1 lore this turn. It could work in a princess song deck. It's a legendary card. They made it to work and do stuff, but it just hasn't done the things yet. The Cogsworth is here. Major Domo. What are they talking about? A 3/3 body is absolutely huge. Is that what the Cinderella was too? No, Cinderella's 1/5, so it gets brawled. This sneaks past the brawl. We like this. We would rather play this card than this. Even if you're paying 1 more ink to get 2 more willpower and a cool princess ability, we'd rather play this card than the Cinderella for sure. The Cogsworth, Major Domo, as you were. Whenever this character quests, you may give chosen character -2 strength until the start of your next turn. If it's a fight they want, we'll be ready for him. I haven't seen this scene in Lorcana. I think this is like part of the mob song that's going on because they got pitchforks and stuff. Did we miss some other flavor text? We missed 3 flavor texts that we got to talk about. Falling for Julieta was the easiest thing he'd ever done. And then we got, let's be clear, Abuela runs this show, says Mirabelle. And then this flavor text we missed out. Watch and you'll see. Someday I'll be part of your world. And it has this little open storybook icon because that's straight from the lore. Daisy Duck is a 1 cost 1/3 body. We like seeing that archetype just a little bit more than the 1/2/2 bodies. The 1/1/3 body is definitely a better archetype for surviving Storm Rage on and all those other steel removal early game things. Sweet Daisy, the fairest duck I've ever met. Each flaxen lock a rush of flowing gold. Her bill the color of a summer sunset. Exquisite plums, a wonder to behold. What? This Daisy Duck I played for a little bit. You can see Angry Peach Shadow right there. She's up to no good. She's the Musketeer spy, and she's got the Musketeer keyword, which is absolutely huge because Musketeer decks are a thing. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and discards a card. We love yellow. Discard. Under the Sea, discard. A guaranteed Prince John trigger. We like to see it. You don't have to wait for this thing to quest. You put it down. They have to discard a card. Play this with Prince John. Play it in your green decks. We like to see it. Or just pair it with the Musketeers because there's Musketeer things that do it. This is another Musketeer. The Donald Duck Musketeer Soldiers that saw a lot of play into aggro decks. Ooh, right now it's in a yellow-blue aggro deck, and it's in this one that I liked a lot. This is the turn 4 win. If you play this card, you could get a turn 4 win. It's possible. It's been discovered. Bodyguard, this character can enter play. Exerted, opposing characters who challenge one of your characters must choose one with Bodyguard if able. So if there's a Bodyguard up, they got to attack into the Bodyguard. They can't just go willy-nilly wherever they want. And then the ability is super good. Not only is it a 2/3 body, so it's surviving challenges from those 2/2 characters or those 1/3 characters. It's not surviving challenges from Captain Hook, though. This ability, the wait for me, says when you play this character, chosen character gets +1 lore this turn. So you could even like target your Tomatillo with this and then dime it, and then you still get that extra lore because it gives them +1 lore this turn. It's not just when they quest, it's like permanent on their character for this turn. So Lucky Dime would be able to target that. Just saying, it works. I like it. Felix Madrigal has the Madrigal keyword. The 2/4 body is nice. Like, it can survive a lot of stuff. We saw this on Genie. Genie is a 1 cost more, but uninkable and quest for 2 and has evasive. So there's lots of stuff that Felix could have been doing. Like, if we can make this just as good as Genie, that would be so cool. He's an uncommon card, but we think that Felix could hit some more potential. The Gaston is a menace in red Fossa decks. If you play this and you play a red Mufasa, you're good to go. Check it out right here. It says Mufasa, Lily Fossa. This one's about my what a guy, Gaston. You can see that he's like really just played in yellow red decks. Like, these are all the popular decks that he's in. He's really just played in the red yellow decks with Mufasa because you can exert it. Yeah, pay 2 less ink for the next character you play this turn. So you can play lots of cards on your turn 4 when he is dry, and then you put him down. You can also just play this card on turn 2 if you have a Pluto. Like, there's lots of synergy that goes on with this card. I think that this is a really good staple that you can like tech into stuff. I think like if you don't have 4 copies of this, you probably should get 4 copies of it because it's a fun card. It's a good card to play with. It's always kind of spicy. It's always kind of fun. And an amber deck keeps your opponents on their toes. The Golden Harp is a 1 cost. It was the Daisy deck before we had Daisy deck. It's got 1 strength and 4 willpower. So it can survive a lot, but it doesn't survive a lot if you don't play a song. The caveat with this is its ability stolen away at the end of your turn. If you didn't play a song this turn, banish this character. So you got to check out if they like, if you have some songs. If you don't have a song, it's not going to be worth it. Because like, say you put it out and it's wet and you didn't play a song, like you have to play 2 songs to let it live for 2 turns. Like, you have to play a song that turn to be able to play this card so it doesn't banishes itself. Weird choices. This saw a little bit of play in some steel decks. Bjornfoot from Ink Thieves likes playing it in his red list. The Enchanter of the Land. I'll be honest, I don't know what anime Golden Harp is from. I don't know. Goofy the Musketeer Swordsman also has that Musketeer keyword. The 3/4, super good. It goes in your Musketeer decks. Other than that, not really going in any other deck. Whenever you play a character with Bodyguard, ready this character. He can't quest for the rest of the turn, but he sure can challenge. But like, the amount of willpower that he has, like if this could go up to a higher willpower, if he had like 6 willpower, then he would be sicko mode. I could see that this working if he had more willpower. You got to move him to Rapunzel's Tower or something, but he doesn't work how it is. But he does work in Musketeer decks. Who knows? Julieta Madrigal, excellent cook. This is the We Have Julieta. This is the We Have Rapunzel gifted with healing at home because it does a similar ability. Does 1 less damage and lets you draw 2 less cards. It says when you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. If you remove damage this way, you may draw a card. Make sure if you're playing a green deck and if you have an exerted Diablo Devoted Herald, to make sure to get your card draw because this is drawing a card. This is a good replacement if you don't have the $40 option that is Rapunzel gifted with healing. We got Max, a 3 cost loyal sheepdog, the 4/3 body. We like to see this is kind of the similar stats that we see on Goat, but costs 1 more for Goat. The 4/3, a good archetype of strength to willpower. If you have a character named Prince Eric in play, you pay 1 less ink to play this character. That'd be pretty good. If you have a Prince Eric in play, you can play your Max and then you can get cooking. We want to try a deck with this out because I think Max Loyal Sheepdog, I think that could work out pretty good. Playing some Ariels and Prince Eric's being in the theme, if you know what I'm saying. We got a Mickey Mouse in this set and we got Clarabelle standing back there. We also got another cow doing some symbol stuff over there. We got support. When there's character quests, you may add their strength to another chosen character's strength this turn, but it's only 2, but that's pretty good. 2 more strength is gonna be what you need to do to take out some other characters. When you play this character, chosen character gains support this turn. So not only can you give your support to somebody. You can have somebody else give support when you play it down that turn. So you can think 2 steps ahead, and then you can only be 1 step behind Mickey Mouse, leader of the band. This is the Mickey Mouse that made the Musketeers even better. The 7-drop Floodborn Hero Musketeer. And check it out, he's got the captain keyword, so that would help your Mr. Smeeze. But does anybody know about it? Probably not. Shift for 5, bodyguard, and support. You got both things. Lots of people will forget that it has the support ability because it doesn't have a little reminder text there. But if I had a reminder text, this card text would be huge. It's got bodyguard and support. Absolutely incredible. Musketeers United. When you play this character, if you shift to plan, you may draw a card for each character with bodyguard you have in play. We got to check this card out again. All for one Musketeer themes deck. We got to check it out with this bodyguard deck. I'm curious to see what they got. Don't sleep on Little John. Giving everybody resist +1 and +1 more makes every bodyguard in the deck an actually good card in their own right. With the Musketeer Tabard and Mickey Mouse, you'll have enough card draw to keep up. So lots of bodyguards in this. You got Simba and Kida. Does this have bodyguard? No, but it's got Sleepy and Baloo, and Donald Duck is a bodyguard. You got Prince John the Prince. You got Hercules, Little John. All these bodyguards are doing great things. Even the Pluto has bodyguards. We like the look of this. We're definitely gonna play this. This looks super fun. I haven't seen this one before. And check it out. The deck total is only $16. We're going to go to menu, duplicate, and we're going to save this as big ol' bodyguards. We're going to save that there. And then we're going to go back to talking about the cards that we were talking about. We talked about the Mickey Mouse. Now we got to talk about the Minnie Mouse. That's right. The Musketeer Champion. That's pretty cool. She doesn't have the captain keyword, but she sure does have the champion word up there, but that doesn't count. That's not a keyword. You got bodyguard. You got, when you play this character, you may banish chosen opposing character with 5 strength or more. So if you give your support to another character and give them a whole bunch of strength, does this one say, what is support? Can support go to anybody? When this character quests, you may add their strength to another chosen character. So you could give your support to another opponent. You could give your strength to another opponent and then play Minnie Mouse down. And if they're over 5 strength, you banish them. It's crazy. It works. It's cool. This is an enchanted card, and I think it's undervalued. 62 for a Minnie Mouse. What's going on there? We got Mirabelle Magical, a gift for the family. The 3/5 stat line. This one came in the Ursula Returns starter decks. We like it. Support with 3 is a good deal. That's almost a Maximus status. Whenever this character quests, your other magical characters get +1 lore this turn. It can work in magical stuff. It sure does work in the stuff. Hey, look, that's our video right there, Magical Family, with 80 cards in the deck. How silly. Another Mirabelle Magical Prophecy Finder, that 2/2 stat line, not the best, especially for a 2-cost card. We like these little butterfly leaf things going on. Support, who would have known it? And then you got the, why would Bruno break this prophecy? Could he be something dangerous? We have to find out. That's what I am saying. Mirabelle, we got Pluto, the rescue dog. You could shift this Pluto into the big guard dog Pluto that we were talking about. Well, why would you do that? Maybe, I don't know. To the rescue, when you play this character, you move up to 3 damage from one of your characters. It can quest for 2. It costs 1 more than Rapunzel and got a whole lot more strength than Rapunzel. Would you play Rapunzel or would you play this? This one's a pretty good card. This makes sense. I like this. And it's got the ally keyword. Hopefully we see some ally stuff going on with Azurite Sea. That's my opinion, because lots of these like pets that we're getting are allies. This is the Prince Eric that will help your Max to the potential. Where's Max? There he is, Max. What deck is this in? Competitive 1.2. Magical in the house. Little Mermaid. That's what we want to see. Little Mermaid. Feel free to modify as you wish. Don't mind if I do. It's got Flounders, Sebastians, Ursulas. Look at all these. Those are all from under the sea except for this. And this, yeah, Eye of the Fates is from Hercules, right? Those are little Hercules hands, huh? We like to see it. Anyway, that's Prince Eric. He's a 3/3. It works. It's okay. It's a bodyguard, and bodyguards help out with Mickey Mouse and stuff. This is another Prince Eric. Also has the bodyguard ability, but with a weird situation. He doesn't have bodyguard when you play him down. He has bodyguard after he's played. If you have an Ursula. You can't make it enter play exerted, if you know what I'm saying. Because it has to see the Ursula in play, and it also has to be in play. It doesn't have this ability in your hand. It has this ability when it's in play. You can shift it for 4. That's a cost savings of 2. Is it worth it? A little bit. We like the Prince Erics. Love to see him in a Little Mermaid deck. This is a Stitch that could have been better. We could get an Amber Shift Stitch. We have the Rockstar Stitch. I don't know. Is this better? I don't know. It works. It gives you another shift target for Rockstar Stitch. It's something to look out for. This is Ursula's Eric's Bride. These two are kind of connected arts. Maybe Stitch is meant to be in the middle there. Who am I to say? You can shift this Ursula onto this Ursula. This Ursula is super good. This Ursula didn't see a lot of play, but it did see a little bit of play. You can shift it by discarding a song card. It costs you a whole song, but that's okay because it's got a really good discard ability. It says whenever this character quests, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a non-character card of your choice. So you get to decide what's worse for them. You can be like, hey, guess what, buddy? No, be prepared for you. It's not just a random card from their hand. You get to decide what card to get rid of them. She's got the necklace, Ursula shell necklace. She got some shell shoes. Lots of cool stuff in this art. This looks very Ursula-y, very octopus, very demure. Does this has also octopus? This does also have octopus. They're just chilling. They're in love. Who's this drawn by? Lisanne. Thanks, Lisanne, for making cool cards. This Ursula, super useful to sing, and then along came Zeus. We really like this Ursula. It has seen a lot of play. If you haven't used this, check it out. Like this one, CCS 10K, it was used there. It does good. I've seen this in lots of Amber Steel decks. One of my favorite decks. Onto the action cards from the Amber cards in Ursula's Return. We got Bruno's Return, but is this Bruno or is this Camilo? And this hummingbird, is that Morph? There are lots of unanswered questions here. Return a character from your discard to your hand. Then remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Don't mind if I do. So you can get a card back. You can remove some damage. First aid. That's a little mini, and she's healing up Pluto's little paw. Remove 1 damage from each of your characters. Might be useful in the Musketeer decks, but it wasn't. Look at this family. There was one game developer, Game Maker Fletch, and he loved this artwork. This is on the playmat. Look at this family action song card. Sing together, so you can use a couple of your characters to be able to use this card. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can reveal up to 2 character cards and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So in the first chapter, we got Be Our Guest, but now we have Look at This Family, which is a much better version of Be Our Guest, but it doesn't see a whole lot of play. There's an enchanted version of it. Love to see it. Good card. I like Sing Together cards. Wish they would bring it back in future sets, but it looks like they just left it behind in Ursula Returns. We got Lost in the Wood. Who's that? An Entangled Anna, a character with cost 4 or more, can exert to sing for free. All opposing characters gets -2 strength until the start of your next turn. That's pretty good, especially for Under the Sea decks, but it doesn't see a whole lot of play. It's a song to sing if you want to sing a song, but it's not there for the meta. There is the Fishbone Quill, and it's signing the scroll. What other kind of Easter eggs do we got? We got this Poor Unfortunate Soul stuck in a bottle. What other stuff do we have in this artwork? Any hidden Mickeys? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know. We like the Fishbone Quill. We love to see it. Each opponent may choose and discard a card. For each opponent who doesn't, you gain 2 lore. So definitely a good one for multiplayer. You should definitely check it out if you're playing a multiplayer game. But if you're not, don't. You can play this after your opponent has no cards in their hand, and then you get to gain 2 lore because they don't discard a card. You get to gain 2 lore. So if your opponent has no cards in hand, you play it, you get to gain 2 lore. So it's a way worse as Seeking Knowledge and Wisdom, which only costs 2. But there it is. That's an option for you. You got the Miracle Candle. Banish this item. If you have 3 or more characters in play, gain 2 lore and remove up to 2 damage from chosen location. A whole lot of setup for a whole little bit of playoff. We got the Record Player. This one is pretty niche. We like to see it. What is Stitch going to do to be able to sing a song? We got to make a deck out of this card. Lorcana Gateway, deck 1 by default, Dan. We got to do something else with this. The Record Player item to make Stitch count as having +1 cost songs to sing. We got to use this in Naveen's ukulele. We got to put something together with Record Player because I think it's pretty silly. Whenever you play a song, chosen character gets -2 strength until the start of your next turn. You also got Your characters named Stitch count as having +1 cost to sing songs. So if we add all the Stitches together, they can do some sing together shenanigans. We got Atlantica, which we could also put into the deck. Characters count as having +2 cost to sing songs while here. It's a 1 cost, doesn't get you a lore, but it can set you up to do some funny things. Look at all these little shells. That's where Ariel pops out of, I think. We got the Underworld. This one also takes too much setup to be viable, but it has seen some play in a 28 location deck with John Silver. That was pretty cool. Whenever character quests while here, you may pay 3 ink, a huge amount of ink, to return a character from your discard to your hand. So it costs 4 to set it up, and then you got to pay another 3. So you got to pay 7 ink to return 1 card to your hand. That's a whole lot of ink to get 1 card back from your hand and potentially get a lore. It's only got 6 willpower. It's a whole lot of setup for not a whole lot of payoff, so it's not popping off. Those are all the cards. We got 3 enchanteds. We got the Cinderella. Look at that. This is the singer one. It looks like that normally, but this is the enchanted version. And then we also got the Minnie Mouse, and we got the Look at This family. This is probably one that you want for sure. Thanks for watching. Next week, we're going to talk about all the Amethyst cards, talk about all the spice and all the decks that we played. Mrs. Potts definitely going to zoom into that artwork and see if we can find any hidden Mickeys. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you made it this far. That would be so great. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers.